Hi, everyone. Welcome to Ronin's Den. I'm Steve. As always, I'm with my co-host, Eric. I will be running the Monster of the Week one-shot tonight. This is kind of an exciting yet sad episode because Eric and I set out with the goal to do one-shot a month for the entire year of 2024. And this is the last one. This is the absolute last one-shot we are doing this year, and we succeeded. Actually, we did more than one per month. I think we did, this will be number 15. Correct me if I'm wrong, Eric.
Something like that.
But yeah, we did 15 one-shots, all different systems. We are going to do a breakdown of that with the two of us, kind of going over what we learned, what benefit there is to playing other systems and things like that. Also, today, we will be doing the last one, which is Monster of the Week, and we have some wonderful guests with us. Howard from Adventures Keep.
Hello.
He's been with us many times before. Benny, you've been with us many times before. Thank you once again. And a special guest today is Meg from Grimstone Gaming and her channel. Meg, you're new. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh gosh, well that's a very big question. I need more specifics. I'm Meg, and I do run another platform with some of my very closest friends and favorite people to play with, called Grimstone Gaming. We are also done for the year, which is crazy. So I'm really glad I got this opportunity to play one more time before the calendar year was truly over. We'll be launching our main campaign in January, rebooted and ready to go. We're so very excited, and we'll still have on our regulars, tabletop turntable and whatnot. Anyway, that's pretty much all I do. I do that, and I love on my friends' kids.
Awesome. We're going to be playing Monster of the Week, as I've said. Why don't we quickly go through and have everyone introduce their character, tell us a little bit about your character name and something about them and what playbook you're playing, and then we'll jump right into the history where we create the character connections before going into the game. Let's start with Adventures Keep.
So I am playing John Smith, as far as anybody knows. And he is a flake. He is kind of the town conspiracy theorist, kind of like he lives in somebody's, like he basically like has a house, but like mainly stays in his basement and on the internet, always watching everybody in town.
All right, Benny.
Before I get into that, just real quick, thank you so much for having me on so many times this year. I don't know how many of the 15 it was, but it was several, and I could not have asked for a chance to play so many new games. So thank you for that. Now, getting to the game, I'm playing the mundane, somebody who is just not so much a has-been as a never was, named Billiam O'Neill. O'Neill is spelled O-N-N, I'm sorry, O-N-E-E-L with no apostrophe. And Billiam just kind of, in the course of his duties as an insurance adjuster, he wandered into evidence of monsters and has decided he's now a superhero.
I love it.
Love it.
Eric, why don't you introduce your character?
So I'm reprising a character that I played in one of your old games. I'm using the Crooked playbook. My character's name's Vincent, and he is a bit of a crooked cop. More of the along the lines of he's going to go break up the drinking party, confiscate all the beer, and take it home for himself because he hates paperwork. And, you know, the diner, he's never going to pay for his pie or coffee because, I mean, come on, I'm a cop. You want me to show up, right? So, but he's a nice guy. He sponsors the local soccer team for the kids and generally does look out for his town.
All right. And finally, Meg.
I'm gonna give you 3 guesses after I tell you her name as to which playbook she is. Her name is Thelma Louise Brinkley. Her friends call her Telly. She has big hair and nerdy clothes and glasses. She is the meddling kid.
Swinks.
I love it. I love the archetype that you've just dictated. We're gonna go with that same order. If you guys go to your playbooks on the part where it says history, there are going to be a set of, I guess we'd call them questions, or things you're just going to assign to the other players. It says go around the group on your turn, pick one for each of the other hunters. You are going to pick that one that you think would fit them and then have a discussion about how that would is going to play out. So let's start with Howard, then we'll go to Benny, Eric, and then Meg. And we're going to do that every time until everyone has one assigned by you. So you should each go 3 times.
I think I want to go with duality to start with.
Okay.
And this is kind of what I was thinking. So on my sheet, it says, you know each other through cryptozoology and conspiracy theory websites, and maybe you were on there making fun of us, and I don't fully get that.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So you guys know each other through websites. So you've been chatting online. Benny.
I'm sorry, I don't have the sheet in front of me with the questions.
Okay. Let me copy those. I'm gonna put them in the chat here.
So
Can I just make one up because something did come to mind?
Sure, go ahead.
Meg's character, you're the meddling kid. There was something going
Yes.
on. There's something going on at a building that my character was sent to investigate some damage on because my character is an insurance adjuster. So that's how we ran
Of course.
into it. I was supposed to be there and you were not.
Oh, sure. That makes sense. I'm often places I shouldn't be.
So there was a fire at the old mill and you were investigating. Yeah, that's how we met.
Perfect. Eric.
You know, I kind of like that message board one. Kind of want to build on that. I like the insurance adjuster, the meddling kid, and the person being somewhere where they weren't supposed to be. So, Meg. All right. You know something. You know about my hunter's criminal past. What crimes did you see me commit?
Okay. Oh, you get to ask me, not tell me what crimes I saw you commit?
Oh, tell them what crimes they saw you commit.
Oh,
Okay. So you saw me at one point in time bust up a, like I said, in my character description, you saw me bust up a party that a bunch of kids were having out in the woods. And I filled my car up with all of their party supplies and then sent them packing after writing them a ticket for a busted taillight because they gave me some lip and broke their taillight.
And I'm sorry, would you remind me what your character name is again?
It is Vincent.
Vincent. Thank you. I'm going to write this down. Ready to continue?
All right. And then it is your turn, Meg.
Oh, it is. Sorry. I got so distracted by all of the connections coming my way. I think that I will connect myself back to John Smith, right?
Okay.
Yes. I think that due to your sort of like shadowy conspiracy type nature, I think you are the person who explained to me what was going on when I saw my first monster. I may not believe everything that you believe, but I appreciate that you mean well.
Okay. That worked.
All right, we're back. We're back to Howard.
All right. So Benny, I think I'm going to say that you're somehow tied into it all, at least in my mind, because you keep being at places where supposedly mysterious stuff happens because you're an insurance adjuster, and so I'm keeping an eye on you.
That makes sense.
I'm picturing this as that situation where you're trying to hide and watch me from behind a tree, but the tree is a sapling and it's like that wide, so you're on the side of it.
All right, Benny.
I think with Vincent the Crooked, I'm sure we would have crossed paths. Like maybe I flipped you a couple of bucks to let something illegal, like an illegal building permit or something like that. You just let it happen, and you may not have even been in a position of authority to let it happen, but and you didn't say anything when I bribed you, something like that.
No, I'll take your money. I'm not gonna tell you that I can't do anything, but I'm also not gonna tell you that I can't not do anything.
All right, Eric, you're up again.
I think part of the reason why I make fun of Howard so much on the message board is because he's a cousin or some kind of other more distant relative. How could we have reconnected as distant family
Facebook,
members?
obviously.
Yeah. So you're
my dad spends all of his time on Facebook, like locating his family members. So,
yeah. So you're like a distant cousin of mine, and yeah, that's why I make fun of you on the message boards.
All right, Meg.
I think that at some point, oh, this is hard. Benny, can you remind me which playbook you're playing?
Playing the Mundane.
The Mundane, that's right. I knew that. Billiam. Okay. I think that I am uncomfortable with your kill all monsters attitude.
Fair.
Yep.
Fair. All right, back to
I think
Howard.
it overtakes you sometimes, and just you're a little out of control, my friend.
Howard, this should be your last connection.
Yes. Because Meg has experienced something, and I'm kind of guiding her through it. We have a connection through being fellow freaks, like fellow outsiders, because of the connection. Maybe
that tracks.
Okay.
Totally tracks.
Fellow freaks. Great one. Benny.
I think that the Flake actually became aware of who I was when he had an insurance claim for something that was completely denied. Like he claimed that somebody stole his half-empty bottle of rum off of his back porch and filed a claim, and it's just like it doesn't meet the deductible and it's not covered. It's just no. And since then, there's been this.
It was the aliens, man.
Exactly.
Took it. Yeah.
And aliens aren't one of the named perils on your policy, so nothing doing, man.
That's why I'm following you now.
All right.
Let my rum get away.
Eric.
Okay. All right. So this one I'm going to throw over to Benny. Where did it go? I saw it. It was really freaking good. All right, here it is. You and I worked on either a semi-legal or an illegal job together. Since you bribed me for a permitting issue or something. What was that work? What did we do that was so illegal? Not like so illegal, but I mean it was definitely a felony. Like we committed a felony.
Somebody was asking us for legal advice based on the fact that you're a cop and I'm an insurance adjuster. And while we theoretically might have known the correct answers, neither of us is an attorney, and it was totally not legal for us to be doing that kind of consulting work.
Okay. We were giving...
And it was something extremely stupid, like could they put tile shingles on their roof instead of asphalt or something?
So yeah, we're basically just being menaces. Hey man, I had a few beers. Then can I like totally put a swimming pool in my backyard without a permit? Oh yeah, dude. Go for it, man. It's totally cool. I'm a cop. You can trust me. We're the most trustworthy.
I'll let you come over and use it anytime.
Yeah.
All right. Meg, I think you're the last one, and this is your last one.
Yes. Okay, and I believe it is with Vincent. And I think that I stopped Vincent one time from attacking the wrong person when he thought it was a monster.
Okay.
Maybe it was even at that party where I definitely saw him take supplies and may have photographed it with my long range camera.
I'm gonna get that camera.
All right. Beautiful.
You don't know.
So before we get into the actual adventure, does anybody have a move on their playbook that says at the start of the adventure that they have selected?
Mine says at the beginning of the mystery.
That is what I'm looking for. What is that one called?
Connect the dots.
All right. Do what it tells you to do.
Okay.
Roll plus sharp.
Yep. I got a 10. So
10. All right, you get to hold 3 of those.
I get to hold 3 of those.
Yep. And then at some point in the mystery, you can ask me those 3 questions when you feel they would be appropriate.
Perfect.
Beautiful. Nobody else has those? All right. Prior to you guys figuring out there is a mystery to solve, we zoom in on the small town of Sandy Lake. At the edge of a very tiny lake, maybe 3 miles long, 3 miles wide. It's very tiny, but usually sprawling with tourists and all kinds of stuff. It is evening. An old fisherman is out on his boat, surprisingly, a rowboat. The boat begins to rock as he is fishing. He leans over the edge and with a loud scream is yanked into the water. A few bubbles rise to the surface and then nothing.
Oh,
a few
no.
days later, the 4 of you, all in your own various ways, hear about some incidents in the small town of Sandy Lake. Probably through the crooked Vincent's connections to the police station. Over the last week, 4 bodies have washed up on shore of local residents. Standard drowning, most people would think. But surprisingly, their livers and their intestines are missing. But there are no incisions, there are no cuts, they're just not in the bodies when they autopsy them.
That's unusual.
And now the 4 of you together have found your way to Sandy Lake to investigate what is obviously some kind of monster or supernatural entity. You all arrive about midday on a cloudy Thursday afternoon. What do you do?
Going to is the body still here or taken away?
There is a funeral home here that one of the bodies may still be there, not cremated yet or buried. But for the most part, the other 3 bodies would have been taken care of by now.
Okay. I'd imagine I would have made my way, because I probably work for like the county sheriff. Well, not probably. I work for the county sheriff. So I definitely would have made my way to the local police department. And, I'm going to find the person in charge. And, of course, I'm not wearing uniform. I'm in a pair of jeans and a t-shirt and a leather jacket. And like, hey, I need the case files for this stuff.
All right. You go in. There's a very surprisingly young man at the desk when you come in. Sorry, who are you?
Oh yeah, sorry. That I swear they're really supposed to call before I come in. Anyway, and I'm gonna take my badge, flash it real quick. Yeah, I'm Detective Vincent from 34, county. You guys have a string of what looks like to be connected murders here, so they sent me in to mop up the mess that you guys haven't been able to tie up and put away yet. So I was kind of hoping I could get a look at those files.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. He picks up the phone, dials. You just hear him kind of whispering, hangs up. She'll be right out.
That's never good.
This point, the office that was literally behind him, the door opens, and there is this about 5'4" red-headed woman, stockier built. I'm Chief Banks. What can I do for you?
So, like I was telling your receptionist here, 34 sent me from county. I'm here to take a look at your files on the last 4 murders you had here in town. At least that's what they're calling them over at county. They want me to take a look at these files, see what we can do about wrapping this mess up in a nice, neat little fashion. Because sleepy little town, you guys are looking like you need a little bit more support. Might be a little out of
All right. We're gonna cut to Meg. What is Thelma doing?
Right now she is spying on Vincent. And she just thought that last comment was very rude and is offended on behalf of her entire town.
All right. Howard, what is your character's name again?
John Smith.
That's
Very
it. John.
As far
What
as
is
we know.
John? What
As
is
you guys
John
know.
doing?
John is looking at the newspaper and seeing these, and he's like, the dots, they all connect. They all connect, man. And he's shoving the newspaper into a bag and going around his office that's got papers all over the walls and stuff. And he's just like, yes, this and this. And he's shoving them just madly into the bag. And then he's smoking a cigarette, and he's like, gotta get over there, gotta check it out. And he rushes out the door.
Okay, but how about I thought at first that you said the docks all connect and there was water involved, so I was like, what?
The dots.
I thought you said the docks as well, and then it clicked. You said dots. All right. Billiam, what are you doing at this point?
I'm going to be walking along the shoreline where the body washed up, looking for just any kind of clues, anything that might have been left behind.
All right. I need you to roll me sharp to investigate a mystery.
Okay, and I'm not familiar with the dice system here. It's 2d6 I roll?
Yep, it's 2d6, and then you add your whatever your sharp is.
So that's going to be 7 total.
7. All right. You can ask one of the questions. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here? I don't think at this point what creature is it would be appropriate yet, so we'll avoid that one. 'Cause you just started.
I guess we'll start with what's being concealed, because I know what happened here.
Yeah.
more or less.
So as you're walking along the shore, looking at like a couple of the docks, you notice that there are some muddy footprints. You can see them going from the shore or from the water onto the shore. You can see them coming back in. They appear to be duck-like. They're webbed, but they are the size of human feet.
Quack.
And you also notice that there seems to be some sort of like seaweed has dripped off of whatever was coming in and out of the lake.
Okay. I'll take some pictures of this with my camera phone and try to rendezvous with whoever of the group is easiest for me to do that.
All right. Back at the police station, Vincent, the Chief Banks has taken you into another room. She's pulled out the files, showed you all four of the victims. The most recent victim was a person who's lived here their entire life.
Okay.
They have been on the lake their entire life. His name was Samuel Voss. Of all of the people that this has occurred to, this is the one that is the most shocking. He's on that lake every night fishing. It's all he does. For him to fall in the water and drown is unusual. Also, we're not quite sure what's going on with the liver and the intestines. The working theory is some kind of bacterial infection that eats them away, but with the time frame, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Okay, so there's no sign of like traumatic injury that's causing them to be like forcibly ripped out. Like they've just kind of disappeared.
We can't find any reason that they wouldn't be there. There's no cuts, there's no bruises, nothing. They're gone.
Oh, it sounds like you got something really weird going on in town. See why they sent me? I kind of specialize in weird. Oh, man. Can I get a copy of this? And by the way, where's the place that has the best pie and coffee in town?
The best pie and coffee?
Yeah, I like to read my files while having coffee and pie. It helps me think.
Yes, you can get a copy of these. The nearest place, the place to get the best is the Main Street Market. They have a little bakery there that has really good pie and coffee. But yeah, give me a minute to get a copy of these for you.
I can like sit in there. It's like a sit down place.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. While she goes off to get the copies of that stuff, I'm going to text my little cousin and Benny and be like, hey, I know you guys followed me to town because you always seem to be able to know when I'm leaving. You want to meet me over at this place? I'm going to be getting some pie, and I need, and to the cousin, I need your brand of internet weirdness to track some stuff down, probably.
You get a vague response of that you expect, and that's just like as planned. But like he's coming.
And the text back, they're not watching you. Just get over here. You're not wearing green, are you?
All right.
No.
Okay.
He's wearing a crumpled like a crumpled, like just plain suit. It just looks like it like hasn't been well kept.
Okay, because they only watch you when you wear green.
Yeah.
All right. Billiam, do you reply to his text at all?
Yep. I'll just reply on the way. Order me a coffee and a key lime pie if you would.
Now, do I have any reason to think that your character Meg would like? Do we know? Like, have we interacted, or have you just always kind of been like spying on me at a distance?
Yeah, probably the second one. I think I have an idea of how to ingratiate myself at the
Okay.
diner.
So then I'm not going to send you a text as well.
Great.
Okay.
All right. We're going to cut to everyone kind of arriving at the
Wait, I haven't had my investigatory conversation with the clerk while the sheriff's guy was in the chief's office.
Okay, we'll do that then. Fine.
Because I'm tailing
All right.
him. So while
Okay,
he's
go
in
ahead.
there, like asking for these files and things, I want to talk to the clerk or whoever he just spoke to. I was like,
The receptionist?
sure.
Okay.
I'm imagining that he probably does lots of things.
Sure.
Anyway.
Yeah, you walk in, he's at the desk like, "Oh, hi. Well, welcome to the station. What can I do for you?"
I see we have someone from the sheriff's department in town. That's unusual, isn't it?
Oh, we've had a lot of dead bodies showing up. We were expecting either FBI or something to show up eventually, so
So does that mean the drownings are definitely not natural occurrences then?
what do you mean?
Well, sorry, out of character, how widespread is the news? I imagine they would be trying to not let the public know all the details. How many details of the case would I have?
You would not know about the liver and the intestines yet. You would just
Right.
know 4 people drowned in the lake.
Right.
So
That's what I thought. So yeah, so I mean, all that's been reported is 4 people have been drowned, but it seems like a lot in such a small space of time, especially this last one. I mean,
well, I don't mean to talk too much, but typically in a town like this, we have like 1 drowning every 2 or 3 years. The fact that we've had 4
Right.
in like a week is pretty impressive, really. It's that's not a good term to use, but you know what I mean.
So were there definite signs, or are we just going on the numbers here?
Well, he just kind of looks. He's like, "Well, I shouldn't tell you this. I'm gonna get in trouble if don't tell nobody."
Oh, of course, I would never.
So, the problem is all of the bodies when they get to the autopsy don't have a liver and they don't have no intestines. So, but there's no holes or anything. The working theory is it's some kind of bacterial infection in the water, but they haven't closed down the water yet, so we're not sure what they're doing.
Interesting. I have an ability, what's it called? A move.
A move.
That's the word. I have a move called Tell the Truth, which when I am questioning somebody to investigate a mystery, I can add some questions to the list. So can I investigate, please, and try to do that?
Absolutely. Go ahead. That is sharp, I believe, correct?
Yes. And that is a thank goodness. A 7. I couldn't tell. This one's harder to read, and I couldn't tell what it was on, and the other one was a 1. But it was a 6.
So
So a 7 plus my 1 is an 8.
All right, so on an 8, you get to ask 1 question.
Cool. Who has something to gain from this situation?
Well, with who has something to gain. I mean, they were just local people. It's not like I don't really know anything about. Nobody really has anything to gain by these guys disappearing. It is weird that they were all guys, but that's about it. No, nobody
We
has
don't know
anything
of
to
any
gain.
connections. There's nobody like, I don't know, putting the bacteria in the water or something. I wouldn't want anybody to find out.
Well, I mean, if there was, if it's not bacterial and it's chemical, the new plant that opened on the other side of the lake could be dumping toxic chemicals in there. They say they're on the up and up. But you know how the companies can be. They throw a little money at the inspector and everything gets avoided.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
also the fish population in the lake is gone. It's depleted in the last 6 months. Nobody's catching any fish.
Hmm. That is so interesting. You have been so very helpful. Could I come and visit again sometime?
Sure. We don't get visitors very often. At this
Well,
point you
call it
hear
a
the chief go, "I'm going to go make those copies. I'll be right back." And you hear the footsteps heading towards the door.
great. I will head out. Was I able to overhear at all him asking about the pie and coffee?
Yeah, you hear her as she's like, "You want pie and coffee?" Yeah, the market cafe.
Great. So I'm gonna head there then, knowing instead otherwise I would hide and tail him. But since I know where he's going, I'm gonna go ahead there. Get myself
All right.
situated, stake out when he comes in.
All right, we're gonna cut to the place where y'all are getting pie. Main Street Market. It's like, you know how like Golden Dawn or Giant Eagle has that little cafe off the side? That's what it's like with their hometown market. Vincent, you're there. They've brought you your pie and your coffee. They've brought a coffee and a piece of key lime for Billiam whenever he shows up.
Well, as long as I got my cherry pie, I'm happy. I'm gonna pop one of the files, like the files down, kind of like book fashion, just like stacked on top of each other. I'm gonna flip through some of the pages, waiting for people to show up.
All right. Who shows up first?
John Smith will become walking through the door, like looking around, but still smoking a cigarette as he walks into the building, just not even thinking about it.
That's where someone goes, hey, you got to put that cigarette out, man.
Oh. And he puts it out just like on one of the police licenses, like not even thinking about it. He reaches in his pocket and he pulls out like a nicotine patch and just slaps it on and then continues walking and sits down at the table in front of his cousin. What'd you call me for, man?
Greasy as always. You gotta get off the computer before 2 a.m. Take a shower before you come out. Look, so you're always online looking at that conspiracy stuff. It's gonna rot your brain. Here, check this out though. This is real, and you might actually be able to help out with this. I'm telling you, Mac and me is not living in the cave drinking Pepsi, but look at this. We got 4 people. One of them was like the person, like they lived on that lake. 4 drownings, and they're all missing livers and intestines with no signs of physical trauma. You ever see anything like that on any of your boards?
I don't know. And he starts reaching through his and ruffling through his bag that he had grabbed all those stuff in, and he pulls out a little piece of Nick puts it in his mouth, and he starts looking through, and then pulls out his phone and types something in, and then I want to ask one of my questions,
Okay.
which is I want to know if I can tell through my paperwork and just a couple of things if there's anything I know that like what does it seem besides like livers and stuff? Is there anything that wants? like these kinds of things?
I'll give you this. As you're like sifting through a bunch of papers and you're getting there, you come across what are those ones that have like the fake monster attack, like the tabloids? Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
You have a tabloid that talks about sea monsters or lake monsters, and it's the Lake Michigan lake monster. And it mentions that there are people that believe that the Lake Michigan lake monster is actually a spirit, and that a couple of bodies have been found missing livers, but not intestines, just livers.
This right here, man. This lake monster like thing. It's the Michigan one. Like it does this, man, but not exactly.
So it's like this, but not exactly like this, but sort of, kind of, just what we're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know.
How far away are we from Lake Michigan?
Sandy Lake is in the middle of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Oh wow.
So I'm gonna scratch my head. I'm gonna be like, okay, so have like anything local? Because I don't think that this is going to be taking the Greyhound here and back without getting noticed.
I mean, they're all connected, man. The lakes are all connected to the ocean and everything else, man. I mean, just swim around, you know. I don't know. Is there something that can create this?
As you guys are looking at the like report together, there is a blurb at the bottom from a walker. That's all it is just walker. Spirit wanted an offering that was not being given. Once offerings were restored, the killing stopped.
All right.
There, man. Right there.
All right. Well, seems like the only.
I'll say this is about the time Billiam shows up, and Thelma, you've been on the other side of the cafe watching this whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I've snuck up into a close enough booth that I can get my camera angled just so over Vincent's shoulder to be able to take snapshots of the reports and files.
That meddling kid.
All right, Billiam, you show up.
I'm sorry, what's Meg's character's name again?
Thelma Louise, but my friends call me Telly.
So I think Billiam, as he walks in, is just going to be completely oblivious to the fact that Telly is trying to be secretive. But, oh, hey, Telly, why don't you come sit with us? And then he's going to just sit down with Vincent and John. And he's going to start showing them the pictures. And he's going to say, so I think I've seen something like this before. People sometimes like to get pets that they really shouldn't have, like wild animals. And he's going to be showing everybody the pictures he took of the bird footprints, of the duck footprints. Like, I don't know what kind of bird or what kind of duck it is that's going to eat somebody's liver, but I'm guessing this looks like wild animal damage. This looks like somebody was messing around. Somebody tried to pet something they shouldn't pet or keep it as a house pet.
Except that the files say there was no trauma to them.
I did, by the way, slide into the booth probably next to John, across from Vincent and Billiam. Hello.
I want to kind of give you like the little like half wave, like I know you're here. I see you. And how well do we know each other? Like, how many interactions have we had?
I don't know that we necessarily have had any beyond that one time that I stopped you from killing an innocent person. After I snapped evidence of you stealing things
Okay.
from evidence.
So I'll say we're probably at least on semi-speaking decent terms, even though they're probably tense. Because you're always able to turn me in. Do I know you have the evidence?
Probably not. That was
Okay.
my plan. If you guys reject my joining the table in any way, I'm going to point out that I have all of the evidence on my camera anyway, which is uploaded to the
Okay.
cloud because I'm probably Gen Z and we know how to do that stuff.
I can't even open a PDF.
Yeah.
So, and then remind you about the time that I caught you stealing evidence and let you know that I do have photographic evidence of that can be released should you attempt to keep me from helping on this case.
I'll get those negatives. Yeah, I'll just add in then, well, except for there's no signs of physical trauma here, so.
So wait, so the organs were removed without any damage to the outside of the body?
Yeah, they seem to think that it's some kind of bacteria or maybe chemical spill, but you said you saw duck footprints, like quack.
Gonna show
Well,
them the
we know that
pictures.
toxic chemicals can cause mutations. Maybe the first person infected became mutated, or some poor innocent duck was mutated by the toxic chemicals being dumped into the lake.
So your theory is that the toxic chemicals mutated a duck and gave it powers that allow it to remove people's livers without breaking the skin?
Potentially.
So at this point, there is a person at the bar in a suit and tie who just spins around. We're not pouring toxic chemicals into that lake. That is a lie. Quit perpetuating it.
Who's we, sir?
I'm Jensen. I'm Jensen, and I am the manager over at the new factory. And we are not pouring no chemicals in that lake. It's a lie that the people keep telling to try to get the place shut down. You'd think creating jobs would be a good thing, but they ain't having it. That y'all are just
Well, you
here
would
to
think that
cause
that was
trouble.
a good thing. Why on earth would people want it shut down if it's creating so many jobs for our town?
Conspiracy theories.
It's all
They
conspiracy
think-
theories.
They say that because the fish started dying 6 months ago, it's because it's 6 months after we opened that we're responsible for the fish. We've had inspectors. We've spent millions of dollars proving that we aren't pouring anything in that lake. It ain't mutations. Whatever is killing these folks ain't us.
And was any of that money to the inspectors?
No, I just know we spent the money for the inspectors to come out. We did scientific stuff. They took samples of the lake, the whole shebang. It ain't us. And I would like it if y'all quit talking about it now. I'm leaving. He just storms out.
At this point, Billiam's going to
Apparently,
lean
my
over.
specialty.
At this
Sorry,
point,
go
Billiam's
ahead.
going to lean over to Vincent and whisper, "We didn't accept a bribe to do environmental inspections, did we?"
I don't take
Remember, we did
bribes.
something.
I do freelance work from time to time, but I don't take bribes, and I have not done any freelance work in this area yet, so no.
Okay, good.
I don't like what you were insinuating, especially in public.
All right.
Who's the owner of the plant?
Is that information in any files that I have? Like, do I have anything on that plant in my stuff?
Or would I be able to look it up?
You could easily Google that. The plant is a... Oh shit, let me look at my notes. I had it written down. It is a... Basically, they get rid of tires, like old tires. Their job is to like melt them down and like repurpose the rubber. It is run by a corporation called X Corp. They have been at the center of many environmental lawsuits.
Mm-hmm.
As
Perhaps
you
we
guys
can
are,
create some.
go ahead.
I was just going to say that perhaps we could create some kind of insurance claim for you to Billiam to contact the corporation about, perhaps, and say that you need to meet with them as the adjuster on the claim, and maybe we can, I don't know, ask them some questions.
Sure. Was it reasonably easy for us to find a contact?
Oh yeah,
I mean, I imagine the company has a website.
So I guess at that point, Billiam's just gonna, on his cell phone, he's just gonna call that number, and whoever he talks to, he's gonna say that they've got a workman's comp claim that they need to investigate. So when's a good time for them to come down?
You get the secretary's like, hold on, click. You get transferred to the head honcho there. What's this about a workman's comp claim?
So I can't give out too much information. It's it's confidential. But yeah, we do. And this is just in the investigation stage. Nobody's in trouble, but we do need to come down and talk to a manager about what happened. It shouldn't take very long. It's just me and a couple of people who are, and basically he's going to pause as he looks around the table at this group that he's with. A couple of people who are definitely employees of a respectable insurance company. It's not going to be any big deal.
Right. Beautiful. There's like a pause, and you just hear, "Damn it, Jason! All right, yeah, come on down. We'll be here all day and night. We run 24/7. Whenever you get here, just
Gross.
ask for Joe. I'll meet you at the front." He hangs up.
All right. I guess we need to go talk to Joe, everybody.
You all head over to the chemical plant, or the tire plant. You get there, buzz the buzzer, the door opens. You're brought into like this little area. What can we do for you?
I didn't think any further ahead. Whispering was going to say, I didn't think any further ahead than this.
Well, do your normal thing. Tell them we're here to investigate a claim.
Yes, we're here to investigate an injury claim. We just need a brief examination of the facilities. We don't need to go into any restricted areas or anything like that. Just be a quick walkthrough.
All right, let me get a hold of Joe.
Was perfect.
At this point, about the most corporate looking individual you could ever meet. Like the short black hair, the glasses, the suit, the tie, the clipboard in hand, the fancy pen in the pocket comes out. But yeah, see, were you the one I spoke to on the phone about the insurance claims?
Yes, I am. Thank you for meeting with us. And I think Billiam has actually a matching clipboard. Nice clipboard, by the way. Very stylish.
Oh, thank you. Is this by any chance about Jason Blake's injuries?
I can't give away any details about the claim at this time. I'm just in a very preliminary investigation stage.
All right. Well, what all do you need to see? What all you need to know? I can take you through the tour of the facilities. I can take you to a specific area. Whatever you need. Whatever. Just let's get this over with.
All right, let's go. Let's just do a general tour of the facility. That should be the quickest. And we'll be out of your hair as quick as we can.
All right. He just kind of looks at the other three with you, and he goes, "They need 4 of you to do this?"
I'm just a protege.
Yeah, so
intern.
yeah, it's company policy. She's a trainee, and then we need at least since we can't have how things are now, can't have one male and one female employee going alone. So they need one more person to make sure that nothing inappropriate happens with her, and then we need one more because we're a very inclusive company. Make sure nothing inappropriate happens between the two guys.
And I feel safer for it.
You just see this look of like utter just like the gear space like that. Yeah, I get it. Let's go. He's gonna take you through the facilities. What all are you guys looking for here, just to get an idea?
I'm gonna look for any signs of like leakage or like busted machine, like something that crappy storage, leaking barrels, broken pipelines, big gaping hole in the side of the building. It says toxic waste here.
And I'm going to keep an eye on the movement of the workers and see if there's anybody, like, if there are any areas that seem particularly restricted or shady in any way, if there's, like, extra security places, that sort of thing.
So as you guys are going through, this place looks immaculate. Like, there is absolutely, from what you can see on the general tour, there's nowhere that there would be any chemical spills. It looks like they've got like multiple filters to block the pollution from coming out of their stacks. Everything seems pretty much on the up and up. However, there is one area that he just avoids. And you can tell it's like restricted section, deadly toxin, like it hazardous, no, can't enter without full body suit kind of stuff. He's just giving you the idea of what they do. We melt tires down, we do this, we repurpose those into other things, blah 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 blah. As you can see, we've taken great care to make sure that none of this is leaking into the lake. It's just a big conspiracy. They're trying to get us shut down. They say we're polluting the small town because the fish population have drowned up. Yeah.
While this speech is happening, would there be an opportunity for me to fall back and slip toward the more restricted section?
I'm gonna say yes.
Sweet. I would like to approach someone who looks like they have the clearance, be it a badge or a password or whatever, as they're heading in, and just approach them and say, "Hi, hello, we're here on an insurance claim investigation. Would you mind just giving me a quick look around this facility, please?" And I don't know how this works. I guess that I just am trying to use the move manipulate someone, because another move that I have is a pleasant and friendly manner. When you politely manipulate somebody, your impeccable manners always count as a reason for the person to do what I say.
Yeah, go ahead, roll.
I don't know how that works exactly.
Plus charm.
What does the pleasant and friendly manner part do for me?
What is the name of that?
It's literally a pleasant and friendly manner.
Manipulate someone. Your impeccable manners always count as a reason. Basically, you're just so nice, they're more inclined to do stuff.
Okay.
For you.
Well, I rolled a 6 plus 2, which is an 8.
All right, on an 8. So On a 7 to 9, he just kind of looks at you. He's like, "Listen, I can get in a lot of trouble taking someone in there without proper clearances. Do you have some kind of badge or anything to like show me who you are? Right now, you're just some random person asking to go in here. We got to get full body suits on. You can't go in there. Like, I need something from you to show
Absolutely,
me that
totally
you are who you say you
understandable.
are."
Absolutely, should have led with that. Since Billiam and I have run into each other before, I'm going to imagine that we have done a couple of instances where I've assisted him on investigations where more than meets the eye look to be going on. So I think that I have a pretty good fake badge from his company,
All right.
which I will now
you
proffer.
he looks at it, he's like, "All right, I guess. All right, come on, follow me." He takes
Oh,
you into
perfect.
this
Thank you so much.
he takes you into this chamber and he's like, "All right." He's already in a suit, like a full body suit. It's like, "All right, that's the shower. You've got to go in there, push the button. It will spray you for a couple minutes or a couple seconds. It's going to be really, really hot. Not like
Of course.
in the like it's warm way. And then that suit on the wall, it's a one size fits all, should do it." He pulls a curtain down and shuts the door and like exits.
Great. Here I go.
While you're doing
That's
all of that, what are the three of you doing as the tour continues?
So, two things. One, do I by any chance get a look at what any of the hazmat suits look like?
Yeah, they are your standard like white, cover everything. The gloves are like built into it. There's a zipper on the back that goes like all the way around the neck. You put a hood on it, zips up. Like it perfectly seals you in.
Okay, and the boots just look like regular boots as opposed to, I don't know, duck feet.
Yeah, they're not duck feet boots. They're just regular rubber boots.
Okay. For the rest, I'm just going to be trying to keep this guy distracted and have a bunch of questions about the operations of the plant, the most common injuries, the history of injuries here, anything like that, to keep him distracted while the other two do their thing.
Well, the biggest injury, obviously, any job site lacerations. I mean, everybody gets cut. You bump your hand on something, you're bleeding, and that's our biggest one. We try to keep the OSHA reportables really down. We've only had one really bad incident, which is why I asked if you were here because of Jason Blake. He's the only bad injury we've had. Other than
What
that,
happened to Jason Blake?
Jason was climbing one of the stacks on the night shift, and he fell and got hurt really bad. He was in the hospital for a couple days. He still hasn't come back. He's going through physical therapy. The weirdest thing, though, when you're on that first stack and you look to the right, you can see the base of the water. And he said that he saw someone or something grab Emilio and drag him into the water. Emilio went missing for about a day and a half. He's one of the people that were found drowned in the lake. Jason got so startled by this, he fell. We think it's just the delirium from hitting his head, but that's the incident. He said he saw something, and he should have had his safety harness on. We go through the proper procedure. He's probably going to lose his job over it because you're not supposed to climb those without the clips 30 feet in the air. Like, he should have known better. But anyway.
Where's Jason now?
He should be at his house. He lives one of the lakefronts out on East Boulevard.
Thank you.
Hey, so that lake monster. So you actually did have another problem. You had that guy get taken off and die, right?
Emilio wasn't working. He was off shift. We let the employees fish off our shores. He wasn't here, so it wasn't a reportable incident. He drowned in the lake.
But it happened on your property.
No. No. Lake is not private property. That is public property. If you drown in the lake, that has nothing to do with us. You're not pinning that one on us. We have lawyers that have told us it is not our fault.
But what if the monster's your fault?
This point, the clipboard goes down and he turns and looks at you and goes, "Excuse me?
I'm gonna
There's no monster. This is the conspiracy of some guy who hit his head. He's delusional. He had fluid on the brain. They had to do surgery. He almost died. This is delusions of a dying man. Nothing more, nothing less. There's no monster in that lake."
I want to use one of my points to find out if he is more connected to this than he is saying.
They're saying, the way that he is saying there is no monster in this lake is definitely. It sounds like he's trying to convince himself more than he's trying to convince you.
Okay.
And what were you gonna say during all this, Vincent?
I was gonna try and cut Johnny off, put a hand on his shoulder and be like, "Calm down, buddy. Don't want to freak out the normies."
He's gonna grab a piece of gum, Nicorette gum, and stick it in his mouth, start chewing it.
So, yeah, there's no monsters in this lake. Nothing to do with us. He drowned in a public place. Not our problem. Anyway, continuing the tour, and that stack right there, and it just continues. Unless one of you three have something else you want to ask him, we're going to cut back to Meg. Okay. All right, Meg, you are fully showered and in your decontamination suit. You come out ready to go? All right,
Sure
here
am.
we go. He
Let's hit
takes
it.
you through. He opens one door. You go into like a chamber that you just feel this burst of air, and he opens it back up. The next door, like you can't feel it because you have the suit, but you definitely know like air has just compressed down. He opens the next door. You guys enter. He's like, and this is the restricted area. This is where all of the toxic sludge from the melted tires come through. You just see like this molten rubber coming down this channel, and it looks like it gets packed into these big boxes that they close up. There's two people there that seal them up really well, and then they move them onto a conveyor that kind of takes them off. And those go to the next place where we repurpose them at another facility. So we melt down the tires, everything. It's just a giant bath of molten rubber in here, but if you smell that, it could kill you.
Understood. Well, excellent job conforming to PPE requirements. Could you please walk me through your standard operating procedure of disposing of or transporting the material to its next destination?
All right. So outside, you saw the 3 stacks, the 3 furnaces. What happens is the tires get put in there. We've got filtering systems. Those get melted down. The angle of which brings it through down to here. All the while it's coming down through here, it's staying at a molten state, but cooling in the same process. So it gets into the bin here. You can see we lift the thing, fill the bin up, close the thing. We put it into these airtight containers. We tighten them up. It will harden as harden in there. We take it from here. We put it on a pallet here. Once the pallet is full, a truck comes up, the fork truck comes up, picks it up, takes it out, puts it on a truck, takes it to the next facility, which is in a different county. We don't do anything after that. But the procedure is you just wear this suit because it's molten. It could burn you if you don't have the rubber suit on. The fumes could kill you. As you can see, this area is very well sealed and tight, so the fumes are not escaping. We have a ventilation system there, which pulls the air through many filters to keep the contaminants out before ejecting it into the air.
Perfect. Okay, well, that all sounds great. What kind of safeguards do you have as far as the amount of rubber that comes in versus the amount of rubber that goes out?
That is actually on the stacks outside, out there where the furnace is. We have cameras that are heat sensitive that keep an eye on the level. And if it gets to a certain point, meaning we're too slow in here, we just don't add more tires.
Okay, not exactly what I was asking. How do you ensure that the amount of rubber you put on the trucks is the same amount of rubber that you melted in the first place?
He just kind of he's kind of in a daze. He's like, well, if there's no rubber, I don't know.
So somebody could potentially be, I don't know, swiping some for themselves and you would never know?
You mean like taking the molten rubber?
Well, once it's cooled, sure. If there's nobody counting or measuring how much is on the trucks, what's stopping them?
Oh, you've asked him a question he's never considered before. It's like
I do that.
I don't know. But yeah, anyway, are you satisfied? Like, do you need anything else? Like, you said this was an insurance thing?
Yes, workman's comp, so we have to make sure that every area that the employee could potentially work in is up to code.
Safety out the wazoo. Don't know what else you want from me here.
And I'll move to like exit, go
He
get
takes
out
you
of my
back out.
hazmat and rejoin the group.
You guys have the three of you have about made it to the end of the back to the whole loop of the building. You're coming back. Joe looks back. He's like, where'd the girl go?
Oh, I'm here. Thank you. I was just asking a couple of additional questions while you were giving the tour to my associates.
Uh-huh. All right. Do you guys need anything else? That's the tour of the facility. Like I said, I don't know what else you need from me. Jason Blake, injury. I told you about that. He points directly at John. He's like, there are no monsters in that lake.
Yeah.
You all have a wonderful day.
Thank you for your time.
I'd like to take a look maybe at the docking facility where they load things onto the trucks. There may be a security hole. Oh no! Keep losing Howard.
My back.
Yep.
Kind of.
All right, I guess as we make our exit, we'll try to leave through said docking facility.
It is pretty mundane. The fork trucks come out, they load the skids onto a truck. Once the truck is full, they close the door and off the trucks go.
Are there is it toward the end of the day? You said it's a 24/7 facility?
Yeah, the sun is going down at this point. You guys have spent most of the afternoon in this place.
Should we head to the hospital?
Oh yeah, Jason is at home. He was in the hospital, but he was discharged. Yeah.
Yeah, he's at his house on East Boulevard.
So let's go there. Maybe
Uh,
he can tell us what he saw.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah, a quick Google search tells you, like, you had his name. His name was Jason Blake. He's the only one in town. His house is right on the lakefront. You guys approach his house is your standard house. It looks like it's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-story. A nice red pickup truck out front. Looks like he has a boat on the lake.
Can you repeat?
What?
Go ahead, Eric.
I was gonna say you crackled off on my earpiece there. Could you just repeat that very last thing?
Oh, me? Yeah, he it's just a normal everyday house. Black or red pickup truck out front. There's a boat on the lake. What do you guys do? Just knock on the door?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. You hear, "Hold on, I'm coming." After a minute, the door opens and there's just this guy on crutches. What can I do for you?
We were told you saw a monster.
I mean, I hit my head pretty hard. It's hard to tell what I actually saw. But why are you interested? Like, who are you?
I'm gonna go ahead and just flash my badge real quick. It's looking like I might be the one to maybe get him talking a little bit more. So
Oh, okay. All right. Come on in. He like hobbles on his crutches back. He sits down. He's like, "I hope you don't mind. I'm not gonna stand for this. I'm in a lot of pain."
yeah, no
Well,
problem.
so
What do you
what do you want to know?
Or anything? Got a beer in there?
I got some natty light in there.
So I'm gonna go back, grab a beer, bring one back over for him, and
Maybe not while we're on the clock. Oh, or did you just bring one for him?
I got one for myself too. And I'm just gonna, also grab whatever snack thing was on the counter and just like come over and just sit down, crack a beer open, take a bite out of whatever food there was.
What kind of cop are you?
The kind that actually believes that
How
you
is
saw
this-
what you think you saw.
Judgment.
No judgment.
Okay. So, all right. I'm gonna shoot straight with you. A couple weeks ago, while I was at work, well, I guess it'd be a week ago. Sorry, times. I've been in the hot. Yeah. I was climbing the stack. Work saying I didn't have my harness on. I had my fucking harness on, just to let you know. I was going to clip. Like, I moved up. I was gonna clip my new one on. But I looked and I saw Emilio fishing. I know it's Emilio because he wears a stupid hat. So it had the stupid hat on. And Emilio was mid-cast. And this thing just burst out of the water. Grabbed Emilio, and next thing I know, he was in the water. And there was no ripples, no nothing. He's just gone. But it startled me to the point that I missed clipping the one as I unclipped the other, and down I went. Now they're gonna try to say I didn't have my harness, and they're gonna fire me, but I'm telling you I had my harness on. But this thing, it was I couldn't make out any features. It was humanoid, but it was a little taller than your regular human. It looked like it had a bill on its, like a duck. But it wasn't like anything I've ever seen.
Oh, I'm gonna, dig out just like my little notepad and pen, and I'm like, so it looked like a duck, but it wasn't like anything. Can you describe it? I'm a halfway decent, sketch person. I can
All right.
doodle.
It was extremely thin, right? It was like unnaturally thin. It almost looked like if a human was a pencil, tall, lanky, longer arms. The arms looked like they had webbed hands and webbed feet, but I couldn't tell. It was getting close to evening, and the other thing that was weird, it had a flat head. Like the bill went up, and then the head was flat.
Like
There was like a little shine to the top of it, but it was flat.
I'm gonna grab like a like a magazine or something, anything handy, like to kind of do the visual aid thing. I'm just gonna pop it on my head like a hat and be like, flat like this, or like smushed flat. Like, did he have the kid and play flat top haircut from those movies in the 80s?
Oh, you see him? He's like closing his eyes and he's like rubbing his head. He's like trying to.
God, I miss those movies.
It might have.
They used to.
It almost looked like someone had punched the head, right? Like it almost looked like a fist had punched, and there was even a little bit of an indent, but it was definitely like flat, but maybe a little indent. It's hard to tell. It happened so fast, and then I was unconscious for a day. It's all fuzzy to me, man.
So, how tall was it, would you say?
Had Emilio's 5'10", it had him by at least a couple inches. It had to have been over 6 foot. But then there's also the depth. It's hard to tell.
Water
Base it on
distorts things visually.
I'm gonna be back in the corner on my phone, like typing away, trying to figure out anything in chat rooms that seems like that.
At this point, I'd like to, if I can, use one of my Monday abilities, which is oops, and basically I just stumble across something important.
Yay!
Go ahead.
It doesn't really do it. It doesn't really give me instructions to roll or how that works. So I guess maybe if I learn something important for the situation or notice something in the house, like anything in the background.
So I like this move. Yeah, we're gonna say that you are just kind of like half listening to this, and you end up sitting down on the couch, like opposite of Vince. Like he's in his chair, Vincent's on a chair here, and they've got like a couch here. You sit down on the couch, and the TV clicks on. You somehow have sat on it, and there is just one of those like mythology documentaries. It's like, and all it is like, and the Kappa being one of the most famous of yokai from the Japanese spirits before the TV shuts back off.
Meanwhile, I turn the sketch over, and it looks like what Bugs Bunny looks like when he puts on a Daffy Duck bill with the haircut from Livewire from the Goofy movie.
Yeah.
He just kind of looks at it. He's like, not even close, man. Not even close.
While this is going on, I'm going to be Googling. Heard about on the television.
The Kappas. So by his description, some Kappas are said to have duck bills. Some are said to have pointed beaks, but they do have a bowl on their head. That their head is flat with like a bowl shape that they keep water in, which would explain the shininess that he said he saw on it. The moon or any type of light reflecting would have made that shiny. They also have webbed hands and webbed feet. The part that is confusing is that they are typically found in Japan, not
Right.
mid Pennsylvania.
So I'm
Well,
gonna,
is the corporation that owns the plant by any chance headquartered in Japan?
A quick Google search would tell you no.
gonna show him.
Interesting.
I'm gonna show this guy a picture of the thing I found of the Kappa on my phone and say, "Is this what you saw?"
That's a lot closer than that.
I'll let you know. I went to
But yeah.
DeVry to learn how to draw like this, okay?
I'm sure you're a good cop.
Amazing.
You're not a sketch artist, man.
So
But
I'm gonna.
yeah, if the, do you what?
At
Because
this
you
point,
didn't go
at this point,
to
I'm
the
kind
art
of
school,
turning.
man.
At this point, I'm kind of turning to John Smith and just saying, like, okay, so what do you know about Japanese monsters in mid Pennsylvania?
Wait. And he just goes rifling through his bag. Phone buzzes, and he looks at something, and he types in. He's looking for his internet friends now, trying to figure out if someone on the internet has anything. So I wanted to use net friends.
Nice.
Net friends.
You know, a lot of people on the internet, and when you can connect a net friend, helped you with a mystery. You roll a +10 on a charisma check. They're available and helpful.
All
Send
right.
them through my
Roll your charm.
good luck with this. That was actually an 11. I got a 6 and a 4, so not bad.
Wow.
Wait,
Excellent
wait.
roll.
No, wait. It's an 11, but I've got a -1 to charm, so it's a 10.
10 is
So
still pretty good. We'll
All
take it.
right. 10. So as you're like typing away on your phone, after like a couple seconds, 3 of your like conspiracy nut friends send you like at the same time. You just get 3 links to the same thing. There is actually a Japanese shrine on the lake.
Ooh.
Wow. Let's go check it out.
The guy, like Jason's just like, can I do anything else for you guys? Or you know where the door is. Like if you have any other questions, feel free to hit me up. But like I just want to watch
Absolutely.
some
Do you,
TV and
do you need
recover.
anything else before we go? Can I bring you some water, any other snacks or anything? So sorry about what
Nah,
happened to you.
I'm good. I can do it myself. I'm good.
All right. Well, gentlemen, shall we?
Let's go.
I'm ready.
You guys head to a ways of like almost like if not the other side of the lake, but like the opposite end of the lake. So if you're here, it'd be like on here as opposed to here. You guys, it's nighttime now. So you guys are going to this shrine. When you
Oh boy.
reach the like driveway to the shrine, there's a rope across it that says permanently closed.
Oh boy. Okay.
Just gonna walk right on past, not bothered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me neither. But can I also have my library card in digital format and be researching Japanese shrines and Kappa offerings specifically in
Sure.
I don't know
Absolutely.
in primary references from the library on my phone on my Libby app.
So, they tend to like so you get to like some of the places that tell you the types of offerings to leave. And it pretty much says like just animal livers, fish, fruits. They especially like cucumbers. Like cucumbers are their absolute favorite. Like everything says cucumbers, cucumbers, cucumbers. You guys walk down the path and there is just this shrine. It looks like it's not been upkept in several months. But it is there.
I like to keep a little snack in my bag at all times just in case I end up on a stakeout. And I have happen to have a like cucumber tomato salad thing with me today. I'm going to start popping some slices of cucumber out of that box.
Okay.
Just to have on hand. You never know.
So as you guys are investigating the shrine, what are you looking for? What are you exactly trying to figure out here?
I'm looking for any signs of specific damage to it, trying to figure out why it was abandoned, which being a claims adjuster, I would probably have some knowledge of, did it just fall into decay or was there a disaster,
And I'm looking for any signs that people have been here recently. Sorry, I keep doing that. You mean to go one at a time.
It's all good. So, Benny, there's no, outside of just like the lawn hasn't been mowed, like the brushes and that haven't been trimmed. Nothing seems. It just looks like people quit doing stuff here. Not that anything bad happened. I will say that there is a pathway that leads up to a house. It almost looks like whoever lives or lived in that house might have been the one taking care of the shrine. Meg, what were you saying?
That I was looking for any sign that anyone had been there recently. But it sounds like it might be a more of a fallen into neglect, and that's why the problem has returned situation than a new people are on the premises brought back a problem situation. Is that the vibe I'm getting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Howard, what is the John doing at this point?
I am
The
looking
John.
for the John. I don't know that I like that, but I am going to be looking for signs of like the duck footprints and stuff of what people have said online that they were, and like kind of what they like the imprints of what they leave behind. Little signs to look.
All right. Benny's checking out the like property itself, like the building and that. Meg is kind of like putting together that the pathway up to this house is overgrown. It looks like it's not been kept up. John, you are kind of looking that this shrine is built and there is a waterway that comes right up to where the altar is. It almost looks like something could come out of the water, take whatever is at the offering spot, and take the offering and go back into the water. At this point, I need you to roll me an act under pressure. No, sorry. Yeah, an act under pressure, because as you are looking at the altar of this shrine, you just see the water in front of you start to rapidly like agitate as this creature bursts out of the water, hand about to grab you to reel you in. What do you do to avoid it? And I need you to act under pressure to avoid it.
Do I have anything to do that? I don't think so.
It's just a normal. It's one of the basic moves, and that is roll your cool plus cool. COOL.
That is not fun. It's another negative.
Can I opt to either help out or protect someone, hopefully rather, by tossing some cucumber in that direction?
I would say you're a little too far away. You would
Okay.
see this, but not be able to react.
Okay.
The only person who might be able to is Vincent because he hasn't clearly stated what he was doing yet.
And I'm not very much of a shoot first, ask questions later guy because that's paperwork. So I see this stuff happening. And I'm just going to call out that, like, hey, what the hell is that?
All right.
I've seen monsters, but I
I'm
still don't
gonna-
believe that they're actually monsters. It's always a guy in a rubber suit. It always is.
All right. So we're gonna say that does nothing to help because he already knows it's there. So Howard, roll your plus cool for act under pressure.
Yeah, I rolled a 3 and it's a -1, so I got a 2.
All right. Meg, you see this, as does Vincent, as this thing just bursts out of the water, grabs John, and yanks him back into the water with him.
Oh no.
What does everyone do? Billiam, you would have heard the eruption of water and then the giant splash.
All right, so part of the kit I have with me is a basic pistol. So
Okay.
I'm going to draw that and be getting ready to be very, very quiet. I'm hunting duck monster.
All right, Vincent and Meg, what did the two of you do as you've actually seen this thing pull John into the water?
Now I'm going to get my gun out.
Yeah. I'm gonna look around and try to do the resourceful thing. And if there's like a rope somewhere like near the house or on the way to the shrine or near the shrine or like some vines or anything like that I might be able to throw into the water. 'Cause I don't know that I'm completely convinced that it's a monster and not a man in a suit as well. So I think I think that I would expect if I could get something to John, I might be able to help him fight it. I don't know if that's true or not.
All right, act under pressure, please. So that is plus your cool.
Okay. Which is 0. So here goes. Oh boy, but that's a 10. That's the best roll I've had all night.
All right, because of how unkept this shrine is, there are some vines that you easily rip off the wall and throw in the water to John. John. Well, we'll let Vincent do something real quick, and then we'll cut to John in the water, wrestling this thing.
Well, I think I'll kind of like go over to the water's edge and try to. I don't want to shoot John. I'm gonna try and grab at him and maybe like try and help him out at this point, like or at least help with the vines, something. I want to help that situation.
All right, roll me help out, which is plus cool.
Oh God. Hey, that's an 11, and plus cool is +1.
All right,
that's yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
That's a 12.
So I'm gonna say that John is gonna have a +1 to this next roll because of that help out. John, I need you to roll me plus toughness. This is a custom move regarding the Kappa that is wrestling
Sweet.
grab. When you are grappled by the Kappa, roll plus tough. So roll me tough.
Do it. You got this.
Oh. So
He's not tough.
I'm not tough. I got 0. I got 0 toughness.
Oh no.
But
Okay.
I rolled an 11. I rolled a 6 and a 5.
All right, you can choose two of the following options. You are able to get onto your feet, but you're still in the water. You can breathe, or your arms are free.
I want to breathe.
You there? Okay.
Oh,
So either your arms are free or you are on your feet.
I'm gonna say my arms are free.
Okay. I'm gonna say you're able to grab a hold of those vines.
Yes.
Good call.
That Thelma has. At this point, Billiam, you're seeing all of this as you come around the corner. What do you do?
Going to run up with the intention of whatever is grappling on. I just want to light that thing up.
All right. Roll me some kick some ass, which is plus your toughness.
Plus my toughness, which I... Okay. And that's 2d6, right?
Sure is.
Okay. Well, that's 11.
11.
Nice.
All right. On a 10 plus, choose one extra effect. So you're going to do the damage from your weapon to the Kappa. What is the base damage on that?
Hi, puppy.
2 harm.
2 harm. Okay. Your options are you gain the advantage, take +1 forward or give +1 forward to another person. Inflict terrible harm, which is +1 harm. You suffer less harm, which is 1 less harm that you will take from this. Or you force them where you want them.
I'd like to give the +1 to John, with the idea being I'm hoping it will help him do whatever he needs to do to escape.
Okay.
And what does that mean when to use a +1 forward? What is that?
That means that they have a +1 on their next roll.
Got it.
So
Just like it sounds. I just wanted to make sure because
Yep.
I didn't see it explicitly.
And for
Yes.
flavor purposes, I'll say that I didn't just blindly shoot into the water. I was aiming for what appendages were straining John, and I hit one of them. So.
Okay. As you shoot, because you do get harm back, like that's how the game works, unless you choose to not take harm. Because he's not within striking range of you. However, he does have a hard carapace that your bullet did not pierce through the armor. I'm going to say that the bullet ricochets back and hits you for 1 harm.
Be careful!
So yeah, 1 harm. It's not severe or anything, but I don't know what your harm. Yeah, I think it's like you take 3 before you run into the unstableness. But anyway, so we're gonna go back to John at this point. John, you have a hold of the ropes. You have a +1 forward, and the Kappa is now kind of a little bit distracted because it got shot at. What do you do?
I'm gonna go ahead and try to pull myself out using
that is going to be another act under pressure.
plus cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
+1 because of the forward from
Which
Billiam.
takes away my negative. So it's a flat.
Yes.
That would be a 7.
All right. That is just enough for a partial. So here's what's going to happen. You are going to yank yourself out. But so you have the choice. You can either fail the roll or you can pull yourself out. But there is going to be a piece of the dock that is broken and you are going to cut yourself for 3 harm.
Oh, that's a lot of harm.
But staying in the water with this thing is
bad.
probably more harmful.
I'll take the 3.
All right. You are able to yank yourself out, but that piece of wood flays you pretty badly. We're going to cut to Vincent. What do you do as John is your cousin has pulled himself out of the water, and the Kappa is now just starting to rise out of the water?
Now it should be safe for me to take a shot at him with my trusty 9mm side piece.
Okay.
So it's gonna be kick some ass.
Yep.
That is
sure
terrible. That's
Oh
snake
God,
eyes.
what was it?
That's snake eyes.
Oh.
So I'm gonna say you see John pull himself out of the water. You hesitate for just a moment. And as you turn back, the Kappa is in your face. And its right webbed hand with its claws just bursts across your chest. That is going to be 2 harm from this slash.
We'll bark off those boxes.
Meg, you are up.
I think I would like to read a bad situation.
Okay.
Because this seems like a bad situation. I'm not sure exactly what that's going to get me, but we're here to learn, right?
Roll plus sharp.
Okay, that's a 7 + 1, an 8 in total.
All right. You get a hold 1, which means you can use this at any point, but you get to ask me one of the following questions. What is the best way in? What is the best way out? Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? Don't ask that one. What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? What is the best way to protect the victims?
I would like to know what the best way to protect John is in this moment. / all of us.
Okay. So from what you were Googling, Kappas really like cucumbers.
Right. Can I put my cucumber slices in the bowl and see? Or would it be better just to toss them in the water?
So you want to put them in the offering bowl at the shrine.
I thought as much. Can I do that?
Okay. Yeah. You drop the I assume you don't even just pick out the cucumbers. I assume you just pour the whole cucumber tomato salad in there.
Maybe they like tomato as well. Who knows? You said they like fruit sometimes, right?
Vincent, as this thing is rearing back to attack you again, all of a sudden it stops. It turns, looks at the bowl, hops into the water, and you just see this webbed hand grab the contents of the bowl, and you just see water, almost like a jet ski, speed, burst away from the shrine.
And that is my cue to get out of the water. I'm also gonna try and does John still need some help?
Yeah, he's still cut open.
All right, so I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and help him out of the situation while I'm helping myself. That'll be my action.
All right, Billiam, he hasn't done anything in a bit. What is Billiam doing as all this just happened?
Do I have a chance to take a parting shot at this thing as it's trying to escape, or no?
You sure can.
That is an 8.
All right. Once again, your bullet doesn't have enough, just for some reason seems to ricochet off of its skin. This time it does not hit you back though, because it is so far away.
Okay. Gonna shout, "You better run," as the thing is swimming away, totally unconcerned with me.
It does not even phase it, honestly. What do the 4 of you do? You guys patch up John pretty quickly. You get him. He's not at the point where he's unstable. He's still okay. If he takes one more harm though, he's unstable.
Wow.
You did before in Google, how do you kill one of the thing we just fought?
Mm-hmm. Are there any foods that are deadly to them?
I'm gonna need some investigate the mysteries on this one. Even going through, like,
Absolutely.
you could, John could use his net friends to try to figure this out as well. But everybody else that's trying to like Google this needs to investigate a mystery, because these are mythical creatures. Killing them is not like something you're just gonna easily Google.
Yeah,
What do you
I'm
add
having
to
a tough time.
What do you add to
What?
investigate the mysteries?
Sharp.
Sharp.
I
don't think my net
rolled
friends
really
know
well.
anything.
I rolled really well. That was an 11.
Okay.
Great, because I only got a 6.
What'd you get for the net friends, Howard?
I got a 3.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, the net
your
friends
message
don't know
boards are
nothing.
not the best.
A few of your friends actually are like, quit fucking asking me questions, dude. I'm trying to play a game right now. Like, they're pretty mad. They're like, we helped you once tonight. What are you doing? So
Got your one.
Benny,
Now shut up.
you get to ask 2 of these, but I think the one you're most interested in is what can hurt it.
Yeah.
What is said to be the most common things to hurt it? It does not like ginger. It does not like sesame seeds. And it hates iron. The other questions are, you already know what sort of creature it is. You already know what happened here. Where did it go? What is it going to do? What is being concealed here?
What's being concealed here?
All right. You Google like quickly how to like harm it, sesame seed, ginger, and iron. What is being concealed here is that there is a plaque that actually says when this place was built. A woman by the name of Takahiro Mickelson built this shrine 60 years ago. And it basically says that she was the upkeep and the caretaker for this shrine. It seems that whatever she was the one that gave offerings, things like that. So it seems that for some reason she has quit taking care of the shrine. But talking to her or her family could probably get you some more answers.
Okay. So maybe we should go check out that house.
That's
Probably.
That's what I was thinking.
We're at the 2-hour mark. Does anybody want to take a quick break?
Yes,
Real
please.
quick?
Please.
Yes.
All right, let's stop for about 5-10 minutes, and we will come back after that.
And we are back.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Yeah, we were about to have our trusty investigators go check out this house up the pathway from the shrine.
And I just rescued a new lucky marble out of a Japanese soda, so it's gonna go well.
Nice.
Nice.
Something I'm gonna do on the way up. I'm gonna use my Friends on the Force move.
Nice.
This one says, you know a few cops that can be persuaded to look the other way or do you a favor for certain considerations. You can act under pressure to get in touch with them when you need to divert any law enforcement. There could be a cost, but may not be right now. So I'm thinking like this favor could be, hey, can you get me everything you know about this place that we're going to? Like a full on whatever's in the files lore dump. And
Okay.
sorry in advance, because Al is losing his mind, and also, yes, the lore dump that you probably didn't prep.
So it doesn't take long. You give the address, the shrine, everything. It doesn't take long. You get a police report back, but it's not a police report. It's a coroner's report. Basically, let me get that name again. Takahiro Mickelson. She emigrated to the United States about 60 years ago. She lived at this address for those 60 some years. She passed away 6 months ago.
Ooh.
She has no
Mhm.
next of kin. Her husband that she moved here with, he was an Air Force veteran. He passed away about 2 years ago. The house is in the family estate to their nephew, which would be their closest next of kin. He owns it. He pays the taxes on it, but it is abandoned and has been for the 6 months since she died.
So,
Can I search the kitchen for ginger or sesame seeds?
You do not find anything. This house is empty. The doors were unlocked. There is a for sale sign in the window,
Sure.
but it
Doesn't
has
mean it
not
was all
sold.
the way cleared out. I don't know.
Yep. There are
Maybe
no
they didn't bother.
sesame seeds or ginger here.
okay.
Pickled ginger will keep for a long time.
So,
Had to check.
I'm gonna relay all this information over and be like, and I'm gonna check back onto those files. I'm gonna remember back onto them. The first deaths started happening about 6 months ago.
No, that's about when the fish started to slow down.
Okay.
People have not been pulling fish out of the lake for about a month. And the killings started about 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so this isn't a direct overlap between her death and these incidents.
She died 6 months ago, and the fish started disappearing 6 months ago.
Okay.
So that matches up. People stopped pulling up fish about a month ago. 2 weeks ago, the killings started.
So
Once they ran out of fish to eat, they had to eat people.
that's where my cop brain's going to go. Okay, so 6 months ago, this person dies while you're all searching around the house. And then the fish start getting really low. And then they're not getting any fish. And then people start missing. And as this is all kind of like piecing into like my head, I'm gonna shout out, I'm like, why did that thing just all of a sudden like up and leave us alone while we were in the water?
Oh, I gave it cucumbers.
Cucumbers.
It really likes cucumbers. So I'm thinking perhaps we could leave it another offering of cucumbers sprinkled with sesame seeds, because apparently it does not like sesame seeds.
So wait, why do we want to give it something it doesn't like on something it does like? Why don't we just give it something it likes?
Well, because then we'll have to keep doing that forever or people will die again.
But
So I was hoping maybe it did not like sesame seeds because it is allergic or it would harm it in some way.
but
That's what I was hoping.
But it's cucumbers.
It's an experiment.
But it's just cucumbers.
Maybe
Right,
we could,
but
maybe we could wrap some of the things that are poisonous to it, like sesame seeds, ginger, and iron, in some cucumber. Like stuff a cucumber with that stuff.
right.
Let it eat
I was
that.
thinking perhaps we could find something of we could like sprinkle it over with iron shavings, perhaps. So
Yeah.
small, so it wouldn't notice.
And I'm gonna go back to looking at my files, and I'm like, and I'm gonna kind of like just meander over and just sit on a chair looking at him, and I'm just gonna kind of like just do the timeline thing in my head and be like, all right, so it likes cucumbers. Timeline.
All right.
And just mutter to
John, what are
myself.
you doing?
He's in the house looking for like something we could use as an injector or whatever, like a turkey baster or something to inject into a cucumber, so that we could maybe
Oh, okay.
our plan.
You're not gonna find any of that in the house. This house
Okay.
is empty. Like, it looks like the nephew just had everything auctioned off and then put a for sale sign, and the place hasn't sold.
And if I look him up, do I see where he lives?
The nephew is Katsuko Mickelson. And he lives in Washington State. He is on the other side of the country.
Yep. The best I can do is talk to him on the phone, and it's not going to do any good right now. It's too late.
Yeah, he might answer. You never know.
I have a feeling people don't like it when you talk to them too early or too late.
All right. So it's not anything you guys could do right this moment, but you could wait till morning and get all the stuff you want from like the store and wait till the following
That's what I was
night.
planning on.
So
Yeah, that was my plan. If it's still early enough that a grocery store would be open, because some of them are open until 10 or 11, even in small towns, depending on what day of the week it is. I would go get them right now and go ahead and bring them back. But if it's too late for that, then absolutely, I would suggest that we all just get some rest, pick up all the things at the store tomorrow, and I'll bring back my little concoction. Maybe go to the hardware store, see if I can find any like iron nails or something.
okay. You guys go through the night. The next morning you're starting to buy stuff. And there is a buzz about the town. Apparently, there was another victim last night that was found drowned in the lake.
How long had it been dead?
They believe that it had drowned about 2 nights ago.
Okay. So nothing since we had our encounter with the Kappa.
Correct.
Cool. Yeah, we got to stop this thing.
I mean,
All right, you guys buy all your supplies. Is anybody doing anything through the day, or can we just cut to the nighttime?
Cut to the nighttime.
All right, it is night,
do that.
and you guys are back at the shrine.
Got some diced up cucumbers with a ginger like salad dressing of some kind, like a ginger sesame dressing. Hide that in there, and then, like I said, I found something made of iron railroad spike I have in my house, or some iron nails from the hardware store or something, and just give that a little shave with a blade over top of the dish.
All right. You guys, the dish is all prepared. You wait about 45 minutes and you see this familiar ripple that you saw last night when it darted away from you as it's darting towards you. It seems to pull into that little, like, opening to where it can come up. You see the hand reach up, and as it grabs what the contents of the bowl, you hear a sizzling as its hand grabs the iron, and you hear a scream as the hand reels back, and you just see little droplets of this green blood coming from its hand, and it bursts back towards the lake before stopping at the edge of the dock. And you just see this set of eyes out of the water looking at the four of you.
God. Do you think we messed up?
Yeah, I think
Well,
we should have just given it the cucumbers.
I was going to try to put a bullet through one of those eyes.
All right, roll
Wait,
kick
let's try
some
to talk
ass.
to it first.
That was...
What?
That was 10.
10. All right. Once again, gain an advantage or give someone else an advantage. You can inflict an additional wound. You can suffer one less harm, or you force them where you want them.
Inflict an additional wound.
All right. As the
Is it
gun,
an iron bullet?
I think bullets are lead. So, you
I'm just
fire.
saying he could have had one specially made if he's done this before.
What were you saying, Dragon?
The bullet hits him square in the eye, and you just hear this piercing scream as it ducks under the water and takes off.
Well, that went well.
Not dead. Is it coming back?
I'm gonna say that at this point, a couple days pass and there are no more incidents. You do not know if the creature is dead, or if it is simply moved on, or if it's just waiting, nursing its wounds. The four of you make sure that you keep your like information available in case it happens to resurface. But as the credits are about to roll on this episode, we cut to a cutscene of this thing swimming under the water, trail of green blood coming from its eye, as it emerges into a cave underneath the lake. It walks out of the water, and you see it curl up around this little mound before falling asleep. And inside of that little divot are several little eggs.
Oh.
Of course.
And that's where we're going to cut this.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Lovely.
Eric, take us out.
That has been the final one shot of 2024's one shot a month cycle that we did. Thank you, Benny Howard, for joining us for several of these. Meg, it was an awesome time meeting you and getting to play a game with you.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Next week, we like to do our system recap where we just talk about the mechanics of the game. What kind of...
No, we're not doing that with this one.
We're not doing that with this one. You're right. We're going straight just to our regular old... we're doing something else. We're doing something else that week.
Yep.
But it's been a blast, and we look forward to seeing everybody again on next episode when the new year kicks over. New format and new focus. Awesome. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night.